What's up, guys? Hopefully this is working. So this was kind of a last minute thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wait because I'm monitoring this on another PC real quick. So I just want to make sure everything's working properly. So everybody can hear me, hopefully. And I'm going to adjust the screen picture and all that momentarily. But just want to make sure everybody can hear me because it's been a while since I've actually done a live stream. It's been over a week since I canceled Fridays. I was under the weather, but I'm feeling much better now. Voice is still not 100%, but I want to give you guys a heads up on what I decided to do today because I feel like I should have had this idea like 3 years ago. So I was just sitting down tonight to actually test out a mini PC, which if I could show it to you guys, I would, but I'm like, I'll have to take a picture of my setup right now because it's absolutely nuts. I've got two mice. Is that the proper way to say mouse in plural? Two mouses. And I've got two keyboards here. I've got a mini PC that I'm testing. This is the Chewy Launchbox X. And it's $189.99 on Amazon right now. And I was just sitting down to do this review video. I actually did the intro already, filmed that. And I'm going to do the testing portion of this. So I decided I'm going to test it out on, and I'm just looking to see you guys can hear me. Looks good. Perfect. So I decided to just test this out live with you guys because I can film it while I do the live stream here. And I don't know why I never thought of this before in the last over 3 years that I've been doing stuff like this. So I'm going to end up just pulling myself over to the corner really small because I want to actually be able to pull the video portion of this later on because I'm going to do a full, typical unboxing and review video for this mini PC. But I figured I could do the live. I can pull all of the, the video from the gameplay demo portions of this. And I'm using the 3 terabyte setup that I reviewed last week for, all the games and to test everything out. So currently I'm in Retrobat. And this mini PC is not going to be super high end in that it's going to rival a B-Link Sur 7 or anything like that. It's $189. It's, where are my specs? Everything's a mess right now. Pretty decent specs on here, though. I think it's only 16 gigabytes of RAM, but speeds of 3.4 gigahertz, I believe. Intel processor, Intel graphics. So, yeah, I mean, it's not super high end, but for $189, it should be able to get us through the majority of things. But, yeah, I'm going to try to just run with this live tonight, and you guys can kind of point me in the direction with testing out games. I'm hoping that the lag on here isn't bad, just because I'm going through OBS and have a weird sort of setup, but it doesn't seem to be so far. Just jumping into, and I'm going to look kind of strange tonight because I'm looking at a bunch of different monitors, but I do want to wish everybody a happy Easter, obviously. I did not plan to jump into, a live tonight. It was just kind of literally just decided this about 15 minutes ago. So hope everybody is well, and I do apologize for canceling the live stream on Friday. Just my voice was totally shot. Still recovering, but feeling much better at least. So let's see. And thank you guys for jumping in here literally last minute because I just put up the thumbnail for this a couple minutes ago. So seems like everybody's doing well, though, and you're hearing me. Kale King, you helped my dad make a arcade machine. Awesome. That's always like to hear that. I'm glad that worked out. And I'm actually going to be doing it's been a while since I've done any, I'll make this bigger because I'm still talking to you guys. But it's been a while since I've done any sort of tutorial videos and stuff like that. So I want to do some where we make some budget-friendly plug-and-play setups, but ourselves. So I've done some of that stuff in the past, but I think it'd be cool for people to be able to see, exactly how they can set up their own stuff because that's always the best way to go. Nothing against the plug-and-plays out there, but if you could do it yourself, you can save a fortune. And I'm finding a lot of really affordable mini PCs right now, this being one of them, $189.99 currently. But there are some that are popping up on Amazon right now for $99. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get performance-wise out of a $99 mini PC, but we're sure as hell going to find out. So I've got a bunch of orders in right now with Amazon for a bunch of new mini PCs. So we're going to do a lot more mini PC videos and hopefully tutorials to go along with them so people can figure out how they could use those to get into emulation setups really cheaply. you know, without having to pay for those plug and play options out there, which sometimes they're good. The last couple that I've reviewed were actually pretty good, but not all of them are. So you did, I guess you kind of missed them. I didn't talk too freely about them. Where's my, I have such a disaster right now because this was so last minute, but let me see. I've got the box right back here. Hold on. All right, so I think it has the brief specs on the back of the box, just because I filmed the intro to this and I listed them all, but that was about an hour ago. So Intel N100 processor, Intel UHD graphics. So it's not super high end by any means. It's only 12 gigabytes of RAM. So it's not going to be for your high end stuff by any means, but for those looking for like the more retro stuff, it should give us enough power to rival those like plug and plays that are out there in like the Android boxes. I would imagine it's gonna be light years better than that. 512 gigabyte M2 SSD installed with Windows 11. So seems pretty decent, but we're gonna test it out right here. So I am going to make myself pretty small in the corner because I do have to pull the capture from this later on. So it may look a little bit funny even with me up there, but you know, it is what it is. So you guys can see the screen. I'm just kind of monitoring it over here on a separate laptop. So I've got 3 keyboards in front of me, 2 sets of mice and mini PC. Then of course the one that I'm streaming on. So 3 PCs going right now. It's a little chaotic. We'll see how this goes. But so with this being, you know, not super high end with the specs, there's a lot of what you're seeing on here that I don't think we're going to be able to get into, like GameCube, probably not going to be possible here, but let's kick it off over here with MAME. Jump in here, and hopefully, let's see, which button? Launch, there we go. What's a good game to jump into here? I feel like I did the Open Ice Challenge last time, so let's see. Let me find something good down here. This is a collection that I don't dive into a whole lot. If you guys have any game that you want me to check out on here, like something that's not super basic, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe try some Batman. Can't go wrong with Batman, right? Let's try that. And actually, if this isn't 4:3 aspect ratio, then I can make myself a little bigger in the corner there. Can't believe I never had this idea previously, because so many people have asked me to do like live reviews, and I don't want to do a full live review, but yeah, this is perfect. Because I could just blow up the 4:3 larger later on with editing. All right. Put myself right there. I still got to be pretty small, but. All right, I don't remember playing this in quite some time, but I do remember it being a pretty cool game. So I'm sure this is going to run fine on this mini PC, but we'll just do a brief little gameplay here. I don't know what the controls are. All right, so that's kick. Looks like just 2 buttons for controls. All right, let's give it a go. My gameplay skills are going to be pretty basic here because I have no idea what the controls are on a regular controller. I think last time I played this was on my arcade cabinet, so definitely different there. Alright, so I mean it handles MAME just fine as I expected it to. What is the shoot button? Alright, there we go. It's nice that D-pad and the analog stick actually work on this too. I know sometimes with MAME, the analog stick can be a little bit funny on gamepad controllers, so. Alright, so I mean this works, and that's all we're really trying to determine. Alright, so I'm going to jump out of that one. Okay, so confident that MAME is pretty basic here, but good to see that it works. Good night, Nicholas. Appreciate you joining in. And next time I'll schedule these out a little bit better, but this was just a last minute sort of thing I wanted to jump into because I'm going to be filming this anyway, so might as well, get a live stream in with you guys because I did miss y'all on Friday. So yeah, it seemed to be full speed there. I didn't see any issues there, but it has been a while since I jumped into that one, so I'm going to jump out of this collection. Hopefully I'm hitting the right. Oops, I jumped into this game. Best Bout Boxing. I've never played this before. Well, we'll give it a go while I'm jumping into it. I thought I was hitting the other button. It's funny how some of these like plug and play game drives, I'm on a Xbox style controller, so A or X if you're on a PlayStation 1. It's funny how some of them you make the selection with that, and then other ones you'll make it with what would be on here B. So I'm always questioning myself, but no idea what the controls are for this. Jab and an uppercut I got down. It's actually not a bad game. What was this? Best Bout Boxing? Something like that. All right, well, we got a TKO. All right, well, I didn't even mean to jump into that game, but now I know that A is to make selections. All right, so I don't want to jump straight into GameCube because I don't think that's going to probably pan out on here. Let's see. Let me just jump in here and see what you guys had to say. Where did I get the game drive? So this one came from AliExpress. This is the 3 terabyte. I think I reviewed it like, I don't know. My days are all messed up at this point. Maybe like midway through last week. So it was a pretty recent video, only like 2 videos ago, if that even. It was actually ridiculously cheap, I think it was like $87.99, something like that. It was on sale though. They just launched it and they actually just put it on Amazon. So actually, let me see if I can get you guys the link to that since I'm on my laptop over here on the side, because then you'll see exactly, you'll be able to at least, see what I'm, playing along with here. Just going over to my video. And I'll try to pull the link off of there for you guys. Yeah, so it was $87.99. I think it's a little bit more on Amazon, but you get it in, probably a fraction of the time that AliExpress would take to send it. So, yeah, so the 27th I reviewed it. So, about 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. Here is the link, and I'm just going to verify that it still works because game drive links sometimes don't have a long lifespan. All right. Yeah. So on Amazon, it's $108. So yeah, it's about $20 more on Amazon, give or take. But the $87.99 was like a first launch sale, so I'm not even sure if that's still on AliExpress. I mean, I would go Amazon over AliExpress all day myself, but at the time it wasn't available on there. So let me see if this links over for you guys. All right, here we go. Sorry, too many things on my setup right now. Okay, here's the direct link on Amazon to the drive, which again just went on there. I think yesterday they just sent me an email saying that they were launching on Amazon too. So this actually uses, it's a 3-part drive, and it has on it Play Night, which definitely won't work on here. Just glancing at the specs, I know that's totally out of the question for AAA titles. You have Play Night, you have Retrobat, and you have Launchbox. So you kind of have the best of, like the Windows side of things, whereas like Batocera is obviously going to be Linux. So it's a pretty sweet setup. I mean, I just gave it a rave review because it's ridiculously cheap, which is very strange for drives like this. I did do the full scan of it and everything too. There's no viruses, but of course you got to check your drive out too, because, for me, I didn't have any issues like that, but it doesn't mean that somebody else won't, because you're not getting the same exact drive that I received. So get a mini PC, get a game drive, and ready to game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this one doesn't have a micro SD card slot on it. It has 2 USB 3 ports, a USB Type-C port in the front, audio jack in the front, power button, and then backside has 2 USB 3s, in addition to a display port and an HDMI, and then 2 Ethernets. So no micro SD card capabilities here as it stands, but you could obviously bring a reader into the mix with a USB port. So are they legal? I mean, I'm sure everything on there is, copyright protected and stuff, but, I'm not selling them. So, yeah. Proceed at your own risk, I suppose. But they're all over Amazon. They're all over AliExpress and stuff. So you have to kind of tread lightly, I suppose. But are we, the users, in the end at risk? No, not really. It would be, the people that are behind creating it and all that stuff that would be at risk if that situation ever, got dicey. So, all right, so we're going to go into the next one here. Let's try out Dreamcast, which I just reviewed a plug-and-play setup the other day, where I guess we should go in order, right? We should try Sega Saturn. I'm not a big Saturn guy myself, but let's see what we've got in here for Sega Saturn, see if there's any games I'm not absolutely horrendous at. Area 51 I'm good at, but I don't have a light gun, and I don't want to play it with just the analog stick. Batman Forever, terrible at that game. What else do we have? Do we have like Die Hard Arcade? That's my go-to for Sega Saturn. Daytona USA, we could try that out. Let's give that a go. And there's actually 2 in here. I think they're different versions though, because there were a couple versions. Let's see. Hopefully this loads up. And I'll jump back in here with you guys a little bit. Oh, sweet. It was under $100. That's nice. Have you ever used aim track guns? I'm picking up one tomorrow. So I tried them out when they were very early, early on. Never had any luck with them, but this was when they first released and there just wasn't much support around them. So, I don't want to speak negatively on them because it was just super early on. And to be fair, I also tried out back then Sinden, and I had a terrible experience with Sinden at first too, because again, it just was brand new. People were still trying to figure out how to use it. Software wasn't integrated into anything at that time. So yeah, I don't have any recent experience with it. So I can't speak to it really. My experience was negative, but only because of that unique sort of scenario. Sorry, just reading the comments from afar. Die Hard Arcade, so sick. Yeah, I loved playing that in the arcade back in the day, but let's jump into arcade mode here. How do I? There we go. Yeah, so I remember, it's funny the things that you remember about stuff like that, but I remember the coin mechs on those, how they were like a slot on top, kind of like a slot machine back in the day, which is strange. Apparently I backed out. I don't know what button is like okay, it's the right shoulder button to make selections. It's always different with this through emulation, it seems. So much better on Dreamcast. I totally agree. I'm just not good at Saturn games. And because, I want to have some usable footage here, I don't want to do a horrendous job. But Die Hard Arcade, I'm pretty good at because I'm so used to it. I'll be riding the wall in this game. Well, it handles it well. I'm not noticing any lag or awkwardness to this at all, other than me just steering like absolute garbage, but I'm not in last place. I'm going to have to redeem myself with this on Dreamcast, I think. Actually, in 4:3 aspect ratio, this doesn't look as terrible with the graphics as I thought it would. I think that I usually scrape this, or scrape it. That was the wrong word. I usually bring this to like 16:9 aspect ratio, and it looks way worse. So I probably should be playing this stuff in 4:3. The only reason I ever bring these to the larger aspect ratio is just for the sake of YouTube videos. I think it just looks better when it's not in 4:3 in a YouTube video, but yeah, this does look much better graphically than I remember it. So 4.3 is probably the way to go. All right, well, the point of this was to make sure the game runs properly, and it does. I'm just a mess at this, so I'm going to get out of this one. Let me see if, is Die Hard? Oh, it is on here. Let's jump into that, because I got to redeem myself in Sega Saturn. That was terrible. Which 500 gigabyte drive did you have, Digitizer? From Kinhank? Yeah, what I want to do is just more so like a tutorial on how people could do that for themselves rather than, going out and getting game drives and all that stuff that are pre-set up, which nothing against that. I personally don't care. I think it's fine for those that don't want to spend the amount of time that you would have to set up something themselves. But yeah, it's not for everybody, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, price point's the biggest factor, I think, because sometimes, like I reviewed one, what was the Kinhank one? I mean, the Kinhank one was massive, 12 terabytes, so I can understand the high price point, but even still, I mean, it was like $400 or so. It was pretty decent, had a lot to offer, but it wasn't perfect by any means. So, yeah, if you can keep the price point low, like the one that I'm on right now, $87.99, or even the 108 on Amazon, I think that's, a phenomenal deal for what you get with it. And you don't have to spend, months and months putting it all together. And just hitting the wrong button there. So this one I've actually seen with a lot of lag on some setups, some mini PCs. This looks pretty perfect right here. I did have a little bit of lag there, but I think that's just streaming because it went away pretty quick. I don't think that's the mini PC, but I'll have to test it out, outside of the stream. But the movement of Bruce Willis here is pretty on point. There's definitely not any slow motion or anything like that, so I'm definitely feeling like this is pretty solid. Probably should have picked up that mop to begin with. I always forget if this is punch or kick. There we go. All right, so I mean, this is running pretty smooth here. Definitely not slow motion or anything like that, so I have really no concerns for Sega Saturn after these two games, which I have had issue with both of them, in the past on mini PCs that didn't have the power to handle them effectively, or any of the other necessary specs. So let's jump out of this one, and we can get out of this entire collection here. I think we'll move over to Dreamcast. We'll kick it up a few notches. Very true, Joe. I totally agree there. Okay, yep, the Kinhack, yep, makes sense. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Kinhank does a decent. It's just like their setup. Sometimes they can get lazy with them, and there's duplicates and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, the games do run, so that's what's important at the end. All right, what should we jump into here? I always forget which NFL Blitz always has like a ROM issue, but I know it's in Dreamcast. Maybe I'll save that for one of the other collections when I test them out there. What else do we have here? Maybe like a fighting game or racing game. Virtua Tennis. I feel like I can't jump into that now. Everybody's called me out on jumping into it so much. Well, I don't want to let you guys down. I mean, just do a quick one. Just waiting for somebody to say, stop jumping into Virtua Tennis. It's my game, though. I'm actually good at this one. Yeah, you can always, that's the other thing I think a lot of people forget is that you can get something like that just for the ROMs and make your own, you know, Frankenstein your own creation. And oftentimes you can get a better experience because you can pick and choose what you want out of it. When I got into Batocera for the first time, I pretty much did exactly what you're detailing there. Did I really miss that? I took a Raspberry Pi setup that I had created and upgraded it over to Batocera. There we go. Now I can't let him get another point. All right. So, I mean, Dreamcast is actually pretty smooth on here, too. I would say perfect, in fact. So, let's jump out of that one, but let's try something else. Anybody got a Dreamcast game? Exactly, Alfred. Gotta keep up the keep up with Virtua Tennis. It's my game. Silent Scope is one of my favorites as well, but it doesn't make for like a super exciting or challenging test because it's just not that demanding of a game. Let's see. Maybe Dead or Alive 2. I haven't been in that game in forever. Anybody got anything? I think we're going to go with Dead or Alive 2 here. Crazy Taxi's good too, but the soundtrack will mess me up on here. Because everything's like The Offspring or a couple different prominent bands from the 90s. I don't think this one has any. That and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, I always have to take out the audio on that one. All right. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Should we be the pro wrestler? It's usually my go-to guy. His moveset kind of sucks, though. Yeah, stick with what I know. Oh, did I just select the same guy? Everything's like a grappling move with him. Pretty smooth, though. Impressed so far. Not that we're really kicking it up too far here with, you know, demanding titles, but ooh. Okay. Damn. Talk about a comeback. Keep hitting the wrong button. Just so you don't think that's a glitch, it's me hitting the wrong button. Nut shots for the win. All right. All right, so Dreamcast is pretty smooth on here. All I need is cheesecake and a month vacation at Castle Anthrax. All right. Can't go wrong with cheesecake. All right, what's going on here? Might be the emulator stuck. Okay. Not sure what's going on. All right, let's see if I can open up. Actually, feel like it's lost out of OBS because I'm hitting my Windows button and even that's not opening up here. That's strange. I don't know what happened there. Let's see what we've got. See if I can make some adjustments here and get that back up, but at least the stream's going. Just rebooting. There we go. All right, so I'm just rebooting the PC. I might have tapped the wrong button on here or something to mess that up, so bear with me. I'll get that back up, and then we'll jump into a different collection. Probably try some N64. I think that'll be a good test for this. Too much to handle. You never know, but seem to be handling it quite well, so I think we're good there. All right. Yeah, so this is the Chewy Launchbox X PC that we're jumping into. So all we have to do is just go over here to our File Explorer, and we'll find it over here. I don't have to worry about anything, any of my data coming up on screen or any of that stuff, because this doesn't have any of my accounts on here. It's just a brand new PC that I literally just booted up. So we were in Retrobet. We'll go back into Retrobet. So this is how you would open this up on the game drive, or you can actually create shortcuts for your desktop. But I just go into the files and folders here. So we'll let this load up. There we go. I like the load-in screens too on here, which is pretty nice. All right, so Dreamcast was good. Let's go into, if Dreamcast was good, Naomi's going to be fine, so I'm not worried about Neo Geo. Let's try out, is there no N64 on here? It might be on the Launchbox side. All right, I guess we're going to jump ahead then, and we'll try out GameCube, because that's over here. Yeah, I could try some Super Mario games too. You could do that. Is that? You know what? I don't know if NES is over here, but or Super Nintendo. I'll have to jump through here again, but we could try it out on Launchbox because I know they're over there. All right, so let's see. Could try Super Mario Strikers maybe, or I don't think that Double Dash is over here. I usually like to try with that because you can get a pretty solid feel for how everything's performing on that one. It's a pretty high-paced game. We'll try Super Mario Strikers, though. It'd be cool if it works. Loading up, at least. Seems to be all right. We shall see. Nope. That's not sounding good. Yeah, we're going to get slow motion on this one. Well, that sucks. I was kind of worried about that. GameCube could be hit or miss. Some titles might work, but this one can be a little challenging for some PCs. Yeah, I don't think PS1's on this side. I'll have to go into Launchbox, because Launchbox on here I think is the best for retro gaming. It looks like we might be stuck right here, too. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it in the background there. Let me actually bring up the audio on that. Yeah, slow motion. All right, well, we'll try it over on Launchbox because, yeah, this isn't going to be a playable experience right here. So let me get out of this one. Let's drop out of this entirely here. And we'll open up Launchbox, which might take a minute because I haven't yet opened that up over here. Go out one screen. All right, here we go. Launchbox. Yeah, PS1 can look pretty rough. That's one. Well, it depends on the title. Like Tekken 3 always seems to look pretty good, even if you stretch it. But yeah, a lot of the PS1 titles I do find to be kind of a mess. It just all depends. PS3 would have been a later release. Like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is another one I jump into a lot. Later release. I think that was 99. So that stuff doesn't seem to be as bad. But the early PlayStation games, yeah, they're really rough. And 64 is like that too. Israel, happy Easter. Yeah, GameCube on Launchbox is definitely way better. But I mean, it should still work on there, but it just depends on, with the Intel processor here, it can kind of go either way. All right, well, we were already jumping into some GameCube. Let's follow through with that. Let's try Double Dash. Power Tennis I feel like might be easier than Double Dash, but let's just go all in on this. See what we've got. Yeah, if you have, well, this seems to be loading in better. Yeah, if you have an indication that, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to work, then yeah, you're absolutely right. Retro shouldn't be a problem. I mean, this looks pretty good here. Definitely better than what we were seeing on Retrobat. It's funny, on this drive, so I'm on the Xbox style controller, so A is like my select button on here, or like my confirmation button. Whereas usually, when I'm on Batacera, it's the opposite, it's B. So, just getting used to that. I feel like I hear a little audio and issues in the background. Yeah, it's gonna be slow. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's playable, but it's annoying to play like that. I'm gonna eat that. Yep. And we're in the fastest paced version of this too, and it's like we're going at like half of the slowest speed. Even when I hit the speed boosts there, it's still really slow. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this for GameCube then. As it is anyways. I mean, you can make some adjustments, but I still think it's going to be subpar. Even if as I like navigate with the joystick, it's just definitely delayed. Alright, well that kind of sucks. Alright, how do I back out on this one? You gotta go out like this, right? Close the actual emulator, yeah. Well, that's too bad. Alright, so I guess we could try something else in here too. Maybe we'll try Power Tennis. I feel like that would be easier than Double Dash. Give it a go. And then we'll jump into N64. N64 shouldn't be an issue based on how Dreamcast was performing. Test Resident Evil 2. You could try that. For GameCube, I imagine that's not going to go well, but... could try that. There I go, hitting the wrong buttons again. Muscle memory from Batacera. And I definitely hear that stuttering in the background too as I make those selections, so I think it's going to be the same sort of deal here. Okay, just kick me right out. I definitely didn't hit anything. Alright, well, I don't think that GameCube is meant to be for this one, so you know what, I'm just going to jump over to, let's go over to N64 and just make sure that everything's good there. We'll go into some Mario Kart 64, but yeah, I think that GameCube's a little out of reach, so that means that PS2 is probably out of reach too. So this might be where we end up with emulation on here. Cruising would probably be a better test. We'll jump into Mario Kart and we can try something else out based on how that goes too. Probably could have just typed in Mario and saved some time, but whatever. Did I go by it? Oh, I didn't even see it there. Okay. Well, hopefully this works out. So I'm actually on the 3 terabyte right now. So this is that drive. How long did it take? It took, I want to say like 2 weeks or so. Is that right? I order stuff sometimes and then it comes in and then I still will take like a week to review it. So I'm not 100% sure on exactly how long that took, but I feel like about 2 weeks or so. And I think I got into it fairly quickly too, because I was excited to test it out and see what it was all about. Well, the picture's not great on here, but I don't think that has to do with... Oh, there we go. Seems fine here. Surprised they didn't get me with those bananas. Yeah, this is smooth. No issues here at all, so yeah, I mean, it gives me a good indication that N64 is going to be pretty smooth on here. This isn't the most demanding N64 game, but it's a good starting point. Whoops. Nice that the screen up there is working too. Actually, I got one on my Botacera setup that screen doesn't work on top of the overpass, or the tunnel rather. And everything is, the gameplay experience is great, but that screen never populates in. So it's nice to see that it does on this one. Alright, so we'll jump out of this one. Let me try another N64 game, GoldenEye. We could try GoldenEye. I'm so bad at that with these. I don't have my best controller here, so my aim is going to be all over the place with that one, but we can jump into that. So I'm using this Power A controller right here, simply because it's wired and I don't have to worry about Bluetooth and connections and all that stuff and charging batteries. Wrong mouse. Yeah, absolutely. Muhammad. Oh, yeah, that's Nico. What did I put? Oh, him with the ears? I'm trying to remember what I posted. He's a boy. Yeah. One of his few quiet moments today. Just checking to see if he was in here with me. Sometimes I'll look over and both of the dogs will be sitting over here on the couch. Yeah, let's go up to Agent for this one. Eight-bit dough is awesome. I do like those. I have a bunch of them too. I always pick this one though. I don't know why. Just because it's wired. Everything else I have is wireless. It's the only one that I have that has a cable connection. What are the buttons on this? Oh, there we go. Oh, the mapping's off on this. I don't know what shoots. This is one of those games that if I don't have the original controller, bitch slap this guy because I don't remember how to take the gun out. Just hitting like every button to figure it out. Alright, there we go. Got it. Oh, that's an awkward mapping. So my right shoulder is to aim, and then my left shoulder is to aim, and my left trigger is to shoot. So it's really awkward to have everything on my left hand and my right hand's doing absolutely nothing. Oh, there he is over there. And then you're up top, right? Yeah. Yeah, I would have to remap this if I was going to ever play this properly. Yeah, I can literally play this one-handed right now because I'm doing nothing with my right hand the way that this is currently set up. Oh, hello. Wasn't expecting two guys there. Well, it plays well. Performs fine. It's just the mapping sucks on here. So I'd have to go in and alter that, but that has nothing to do with the mini PC. Alright. Good enough to indicate what the performance is like on here. Definitely awkward, though. Yeah, definitely. Alright, so what are we going to jump into next? So we know the GameCube didn't work, so I would say Switch is probably off the table. NES is going to work fine then because Dreamcast was good. Sega Saturn, we tested out. I guess we'll jump into PlayStation. And what should we go into here? Maybe some... I like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I like my wrestling games. Let's try Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 because I didn't have a good experience with that last setup that I tested out. So let's try it out over here. It's funny. So a few people were saying that they like Launchbox better. I'm actually having, I mean, I think it's comparable in terms of performance anyways. Did I not hit play? I might not hit play. It all depends on like what emulators you're using, I suppose. But I definitely like the layout of Retrobat more than Launchbox. I just think Launchbox is also kind of awkward to set up sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's all personal preference for the most part there. Why is this not launching? Yeah, it's definitely registering, but it's not pulling up. Yeah, that makes sense, digitizer, and that's probably why they set this up this way, because I noticed that Retrobat didn't have anything over... GameCube was the only one besides Dreamcast, so no Switch, no Wii, Wii U, PS1 through 3 are on this side, Launchbox, so yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Might have to X this out and hit it again. Let's jump back into Launchbox, see what's going on there. Might be just one of those weird emulation issues. RC, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm doing better. A little congested still, but for the most part, I feel much better. So I decided to do this live tonight. So I'm testing out a mini PC. This is the Chewy Launchbox X. And I was jumping on to film like the gameplay demo portion of the review video. And I was like, why don't I just do a live stream as I jump into these, because I plan to use this drive, which I knew would work well with, with this OBS sort of format. So I can't believe I never thought of this sooner. I don't know why PS1's not opening up here. Definitely not doing anything wrong. I'm just simply clicking and hitting play, unless it's for some reason this game doesn't want to open, which could be the case. I suppose we could go over to Tekken 3 and try this one. Yeah, I don't have anything opening up in the background, so I don't know what the deal is here. Hopefully it's not a drive issue. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Intel's never my first choice, but you know, price point on here is pretty affordable, $189.99. So I just want to see if it's, I mean, that's what I do in the review videos, just to see if things are worth it or not. Currently, $189.99 with where the performance is at right now. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not a slam dunk by any means. It's not something that I would say run out and buy this as quickly as possible, because we're obviously quite limited here. I mean, N64 was smooth, Dreamcast was smooth, but I don't know why PS1. I have no doubt that PS1 works on here, but I don't know why it's not opening. Weird. I guess we could try to jump into PS2. We're in PS3. That's not where I want to be. PS3 definitely won't work. There's no point in even bothering with that. Let's see. Trying to think of one that's mild and not going to be a disaster right off the bat, because I think that we're going to be pretty split here with what this can handle. Might be able to get some PS2 titles to work, but like this one will probably work. Let's see. I don't usually use, this is still relatively new to me, this drive, so not really sure what is on here. I guess we could try Soul Calibur 2. If anything even wants to open on here. PS1 wasn't opening. Alright, so that's weird. I definitely tested out PS1 too with this. Damn, that's early over there in the UK. Well, thanks for joining. This was a last minute live stream too. I canceled on Friday because I've been kind of under the weather the last few days, but I'm just filming. I was in the process of diving in to do some tests for this mini PC, and I figured let me live stream it because this drive I know will work well with OBS. So, and this game is not that demanding, but we'll see, you know, if it's able to be a good experience here or not. I've never really used Kodi. You know, I used it once on a Raspberry Pi 4 years ago, and that was the only time I remember watching like a Yankee game on there, but ooh. It's a weak knockout, but I mean, this was working pretty nicely. Not seeing any issues with this one. All right, I mean, again, this isn't a super demanding title for PS2, but I wanted to start off easy. That was pretty good. All right, so keep remembering which keyboard I'm using here. All right, we'll close that. And what else do we have here? This was my first, oh, that's not it. I was going to say that's my first game for, this is the one. It's my first game for GameCube back in the day, SSX Tricky. I guess we could try some Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I'm not great at that one, but what else do we have? I guess we could go with some WWE Smackdown. That can be a little bit dicey sometimes. Give that one a go. Biggie, what's going on? So this has, let's see if I'm reading this correctly. This has Launchbox and this has Retrobat and Play Night as well, but I'm using a Chewy Larkbox X. That's what I'm testing out today. So with this particular mini PC, Play Night's just totally out of the question. We had a lot of pushback with GameCube, so no reason to even bother trying AAA titles on here. Always wondered how I've never live streamed much gaming, so I wonder how like that little clip of that song is gonna throw off like the copyright claims and all that stuff. All right, so who should I be? Any preferences, guys, on who I should choose here? And thank you, James, 1992. Appreciate that. I know you're usually in the live stream on Friday, so I do apologize for canceling that one. Been battling a cold for the last few days. I thought it'd be a quick one, and it has certainly lingered. So we'll go with Sean. Oh, I don't want. Do I want that? Get my ass kicked. Whatever. I think Brock is probably one of the best ones on here. It's always how it goes, right? I'm the same way. I get off a live stream and I watch somebody else's live stream, or I watch a review video and do a review video. Just immerse ourselves in what we're into, I guess. It's our world. Quick before the guy. Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, he's gonna demolish me pretty quick. I forgot why we're here. The game's running well so far, anyways. Really? No reversal on that one. Let's try it again then. Come on, get up. Oh, missed them. I forget what the reversal is on this. It's either one of the shoulder or trigger buttons, or it would be square. Man, he doesn't let me get in here at all. Brutal. Damn, F5. And a pinfall. And he was quick for a special move, for a finisher. That's pretty much how that went for him with Kurt Angle. Damn. It's like all I can get in with this guy. Ooh. That's all she wrote. Yeah, when I selected Brock Lesnar, though, I pretty much knew how that was going to go. I think anytime you have the cover wrestler, they usually have him as the top guy there. Oh, we're going to get a copyright on this one, I'm sure. Got to be quicker than that. All right, so PS2 actually works pretty good on here. Impressed by that. All right, what else could we try out? I think that's pretty much... I guess we could try Nintendo Switch, right? I wouldn't think that it's going to be... Is Crash Team Racing on here? I like to try that one for my tests. I would imagine this is going to be pretty laggy, but we'll give it a go. Let me jump in here with you guys real quick. Definitely, yeah, I let that play too long. That's right, after the fact, you can always take it out, but... Best story mode in a wrestling game. That is a tough one. This is a weird one, but I liked Smackdown 2 because it was just like never ending. Super long. I remember playing that for what felt like forever and a day. Why is this not opening? Did I not hit play? What else? I don't know. Probably the modern day ones are probably the most interesting and in-depth. Yeah, I don't think Yuzu's going anywhere, really. I mean, the name and, the way that it had been presented to us, but somebody's going to pick that up and do new things with it, just resume where they left off. I don't know why this isn't launching. Maybe that's an indication that it's just not meant to be on here. Try one more time. This is another one. I actually tested this exact game when I reviewed the drive, so I know that it's not an issue with the drive. Yeah, doesn't want to work. PS3, I don't even think it's worth bothering, but I mean, I guess we could try PS3. Sonic Racing on here? Forget the titles. Ridge Racer 7, that's a tough one. I don't even think that's worth bothering. Well, why not? Just to see it just crap out instantly. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I was following Suyu at first, which I think is just the best possible name for it. But to try to do something right now is just absolutely insane. Like, why would you bother even trying to, raise awareness for something like that? I don't think this is going to launch either. At this time with everything being, what it is. Obviously, Nintendo has emulation in their crosshairs. It's just not the time to try to push back on what they just did to Yuzu. So, all right, well, that one didn't even launch either. So let me close this out and see if we can... I'll have to see what's going on with that. I wish I had my Batocera drive on hand. I have it actually installed in my cabinet right now. Otherwise, I'd throw that in here and we could test out some stuff through Batocera. But let me see if I have anything else on hand. Let me relaunch this and see if we can get into this again. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need way more threads and cores than this. I more or less just want to see if it would even launch it. It clearly didn't, but it didn't launch... whoops, wrong mouse again. It didn't launch PS1 either, so I want to see if PS1 will at least launch. Not that it really matters. If we know PS2 is working on here pretty well, then there's no point even really bothering with PS1. PS1's not that demanding. I'm just wondering why it doesn't work with this drive. At the moment, anyways, because I tested these games when I did the review video. May just not be working. I don't know if I have all the necessary drivers. I probably should have checked that. It should at least open up. Yeah, 8 cores, 16 threads is pretty much what you would need for that to work. And even then, sometimes you can have some pushback. So, all right, yeah, this isn't... Well, we got a clear understanding as to what this can handle, and it's pretty much going to max out at, aside from GameCube not being a good experience, and I guess we could try to see if Strikers opens up on here, and if it's... I guess we could figure out if that... I think that's on here. Let me see. Yeah, maybe it's not. Did we try power tennis on here? Or it wasn't opening up? Try Luigi's Mansion. That's weird that PS2 works, but GameCube doesn't. Usually they go kind of hand in hand with limitations on PCs. Yeah, same deal. Oh, okay. That's what I didn't do when I plugged it into this. I didn't change the drive. Well, thanks for clearing that up. Oversight on my part. Yeah, this is slow too. Mario. Yeah, I didn't even think to look at the instructions and remind myself of what I needed to do. I had set it up on 2 different PCs before and just totally blanked on this one. Alright, so I'm going to jump out of this because this is not as smooth as you would want it to be. I wouldn't even say it's really playable like that. I mean, who would want to enjoy it the way that that's going? Alright, so I gauged what is possible with this, I suppose. So let me see if we can get out of here. Alright, sweet. Yeah, so I'm not worried about PS1 though. Luigi's Mansion 2 is coming to Switch. That'll be good. That'll be a good one. Surprised they haven't done that yet. Alright, so I'm going to let you guys go then, because just wanted to jump on here and test all that out, and we did. So got a pretty good understanding as to what this can handle, but at $189.99, it's really not a bad price point here. I'm going to test it out a little bit more, probably with Batocera. I'd have to find that drive. I actually have it installed in this cabinet behind me, which is currently booted up, so I'll have to mess around with that, shut it down and all that. But I guess it's not bad performance for $189. Typically, up until this point, the cheapest PC that I've had a good experience with has been like $140, so $189 is not that much more. It's got good port options on here, so you just have to, obviously adjust your performance expectations on something like this. But so far so good. It's not going to be a bad review, I don't think, but I'll have that out tomorrow. Probably I just got to finish it up a little bit, see if I can extract the gameplays from this stream and see how they look in there. But yeah, I'll let you guys go. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. And I know it was kind of literally last minute. I put the thumbnail up and jumped on here like 10 minutes after. So thanks for joining me. Good numbers considering it was unadvertised and talked about. Just a spur of the moment thing. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys had a great Easter though. And I'll have the video that goes along with what we jumped into here in that full review video, hopefully out tomorrow. And I enjoy doing this. So maybe in the future, as I dive into like the gameplay portion of this, I'll try to do, more of this live stream sort of format. It was fun to interact with you guys and certainly appreciate your time. So thank you guys so much. I will be doing a live stream also on Thursday night this week instead of Friday. I'm going to be away on Friday, so I'm just going to move it up a day. And I'll probably hit it solo just because of the schedule change. But I do have 3 guests lined up for the next 3 weeks in a row. So looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys. I'll be in the premiere of tomorrow night's video, which will be this one. So